August 9th, 1945. Nagasaki. A man sits across from his boss, bandages still wrapped around his arm, trying to explain something almost too horrific to say out loud. One bomb cannot destroy an entire city, his boss tells him. He's about to be proven wrong in the worst possible way, and that's the exact moment the window behind him turns white. 3 days earlier, Tsutomu Yamaguchi is 29 years old. A naval engineer for Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, quietly designing oil tankers. Married, a young son at home. An ordinary man, living an ordinary life. 3 months into a business trip that's finally, mercifully coming to an end. Back home in Nagasaki, his wife Hisako waits with their infant son. Yamaguchi privately hated this war. Hated it so much, he'd told himself terrible things about what he might do if Japan lost. He had no idea the war was about to test him in a way no one could have imagined. August 6th, 1945. His last morning in Hiroshima. Work is finished. Bags are packed. He's walking toward the train station, heading home at last. Just an ordinary man on an ordinary morning in a city that has 9 minutes left to exist as it currently does. At 8:15 a.m., he glances up. A single American bomber, high in the clear morning sky. Something small falls from it, attached to 2 parachutes. He has no idea what he's looking at. In seconds, he'll become one of the closest surviving witnesses in human history to what happens next. A flash, like a giant magnesium flare tearing across the sky. The first atomic bomb ever used in war has just detonated. His naval training takes over before conscious thought even can. He drops, rolls into a ditch, covers his head. A fraction of a second later, the shockwave hits and throws him through the air. Little boy, 13 kilotons of uranium, the first nuclear weapon ever detonated on a human population. In an instant, most of Hiroshima simply ceases to exist. Yamaguchi is less than 2 miles from ground zero, but be one of the very few people that close who will ever tell this story. His eardrums are ruptured. He's temporarily blind. Severe burns cover the left side of his body, and when he finally manages to stand, the world he's looking at bears no resemblance to the city he walked through 10 minutes ago. Buildings that stood a moment ago, gone. The sky itself seems to be on fire. Yamaguchi finds his 2 Mitsubishi colleagues, both alive, both badly injured. Together, 3 men who came to Hiroshima to finish a shipbuilding contract now search for anywhere safe to spend the night in a city that no longer exists. They find shelter. Say almost nothing. There isn't anything left to say. Tomorrow, Yamaguchi will make a decision that most people, in his condition, would never even attempt. He's going home, burned, half-deaf, barely able to see straight. Yamaguchi makes his way through the ruins of Hiroshima toward the same train station he was walking to the moment the bomb fell, passing survivors with wounds beyond description along the way. Remarkably, the station is still functioning. He boards a train home, sharing that journey, historians believe, with other Mitsubishi survivors from Hiroshima. Tragically, most of the men on that train will not survive what's coming for them in 3 days' time. August 8th. He arrives home. His wife Hisako opens the door and finds her husband alive, burned but breathing. For one night at least, this family is safe. She searches for burn ointment, treats his wounds as gently as she can. He's in agony, exhausted beyond words, and yet, the very next morning, he bandages himself up and goes to work anyway. His bosses need to know what he saw. August 9th. Yamaguchi walks into the Mitsubishi shipyard in Nagasaki, his hometown, his own workplace, to explain what happened in Hiroshima. He has no possible way of knowing he's about to witness it happen again, in the very same city he grew up in. 11:02 a.m. The sky outside the window turns white. Again. Fat man. 21 kilotons of plutonium, detonating over the Urakami Valley, barely 3 kilometers from where Yamaguchi is standing. 3 days, 2 cities, and somehow, impossibly, he is inside the blast radius of the second atomic bomb ever used against human beings. The office collapses around him. He crawls out of the wreckage, again. Injured, again. Burned, again. Having now survived both atomic bombs ever detonated in war within the span of just 72 hours. His first thought is his family. He runs through the devastated city toward home. Part of it already collapsed into rubble. Hisako had gone out searching for burn ointment when the bomb hit, and sheltered with their infant son inside a tunnel. Against every statistical likelihood on Earth, they're alive. For decades, Yamaguchi said almost nothing about what he'd witnessed, but in his later years he began speaking, writing poetry, testifying. In 2009, he became the only person ever officially recognized by the Japanese government as a survivor of both bombings. He wanted the next generation to know the truth, even after he was gone. Tsutomu Yamaguchi died in 2010. He was 93 years old. 2 bombs, 3 days. 1 man standing in both blast radiuses, and living another 65 years to tell the world exactly what he saw. It's the kind of survival that sounds invented. It wasn't. And the fewer people left alive to tell it, the more it matters that the rest of us remember.